Okay guys, so we're going to talk about some of the fundamental application of this impact tool. So we're going to start off with some simple but effective movements, foundational skill sets. This is an impact weapon. It's been designed to be able to create a little bit more trauma through the design of the bezel here. So first thing I want to talk about how to maximize the capability of this tool. I want to use the light just prior to initiating contact. Okay, I'm creating a distraction. I'm taking their guard away, the ability to defend against what's coming next. Okay, so before I initiate the contact, this is my position. My weapon is going to be here, held facing towards the opponent, but my arm is not in a position that's going to create openings and vulnerability. So my hand is here. My left hand, depending on my position, it can be here in front. If I'm moving to an angle, it can come into my closed guard position. Okay, if I'm moving to a false lead position, or if I'm here more, it can come more into this position. So somewhere between here and here, defending my jawline, the vulnerable areas of the body, of the head. Okay, so and the neck. So from there, we're going to basically do 3 basic movements. Okay, and then we're going to kind of show how these movements can be applied. The 3 basic movements we're going to do is 1, I initiate the light, bang. Okay. And I'm going to turn that off so it doesn't disrupt the camera, but the light has done its job. It's created the distraction. 2, I'm going to get into the angle system. So one of the most natural and strongest movements of the body is to come down on this angle like that. Okay, it's a simple. If someone picks up a stick and tries to hit something as hard as they can, this is the motion they're going to do. Some people call it a caveman attack because it's the motion that the caveman did when he picked a bone up off the ground and hit the caveman from the next cave. It came down like this, bang. That's the natural motion. So here, my movement is going to be 1. Okay, I put my body, I turn my shoulder, I turn my hip. The athletic movement, power comes from the hip. I turn my hip turns my shoulder, and 1. Okay. Sometimes, if you go all the way to the foot, there's that what some people call squishing the bug. I'm turning the foot, that turns the hip turns the shoulder, and that's the motion. I don't want to leave a vulnerability here, because when my arm comes across the body, I may be open for a split second. So immediately I go into my 2, which is clear. Okay, 1, 2. I clear, and when I say clear, I'm coming back to my guard, but I'm also using that as a secondary strike, primary strike. Secondary strike, third strike is pushing with this hand, clawing, hacking with the forearm, but this arm comes out back into its guard, but also attacks, creates distance, pushes. Okay, and those are the 3 motions. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Those are the 3 motions. Those 3 motions alone can be very, very effective. Now let's talk about how to apply some of these. I may be initiating action, or I may be implementing active countermeasures. There's two ways that we can address this. By initiating action, I mean I am preempting. I know what his intent is. This is an assault, and rather than waiting for him to strike, I deliver the light and bang, I hit. I hit again, I push, and maybe I disengage, or maybe I hit again. Okay, those are the 3 movements and application of initiation. What about defensively? How do I apply those defensively? If he's reaching his left hand, maybe he's reaching to grab me. Maybe it was a strike or something. But as he reaches out, 1. That's my 1. I use it to defend. 2. I come across the top, and that's my first strike. 3. I hit again, and I can go back into my sequence. Okay? So I'm using it to defend against that. And from this left hand, it puts me to the outside line. When I use those same motions against his right hand, I'm going to be on the inside line, but I can still use them effectively. My first motion, 1, I defend against that. 2, I clear and do my first strike. 3, I can be pushing to the chest, pushing to the face, and then I can go back into my sequence again, 1, 2, 3. So I'm using those movements in a sequence. If it was a left, right, and this is getting a little bit more sophisticated, the timing's got to be there, but I could use this 1, 2. My 1 and 2 defend, and now I'm on the outside line. I can use now my 3 to push, or I can use it to control his arm, and then start my sequence again in my 1, 2, 3. Disengage when I've got the opportunity, remain engaged if I need to, but do what's necessary to neutralize that attack. Okay guys, so that's a sequence for you to practice some simple movements with multiple application. Practice that. Till next time.